hibiscus. It's a crop that is well known in northern Nigeria. Zobo, that's the local name. Growing up, we just thought it was just a local delicacy, but later as we've gone into the full commercial pursuit of the crop, we've realized that the value chain is unthinkable, just from pharmaceutical, from beverages, from food flavorings.
For me, it was very surprising to find out how much demand hibiscus had from countries that didn't grow hibiscus. Early on when we started the journey from the first year, I was constantly on LinkedIn groups, commodity groups, so I could see a lot of people talking about it as well. But I didn't have a slightest idea that we were talking about tens of thousands of tons annually. So yeah, that was a learning curve for me.
Yau yallaɓai wannan baki ne muka yi daga Kano. Mutanenmu ne wanda muke harkoki da su na harkar soɓuro, wanda muna tare da su nan da shekara 10 ko sama da haka. Muna yin harkar arziki kuma muna samun karuwa alhamdulillah.
Abubuwa daga fara sayan soɓo yadda rayuwarmu ta sauya. A da a baya ba mu da babura, hatta wannan mota babu ita a wannan ƙauye namu. Daga fara sayan soɓo yanzu akalla muna da mota ta kai 10, mashin ku ya fi 200. Waya da irin wannan waya babu ita, yanzu muna iya rike waya 2 mutum ɗaya.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm just always excited when we come out to these communities and we just see how we touch people's lives and how a dream that started 13 years ago has spread.
I had always been interested in agriculture, but not hibiscus. I was working in Manchester at the time, and then I was tired of my bank job. I was speaking to my brother who was working at a bank in Nigeria as well. I was telling him that I want to go back to agriculture. I was looking at cocoa or cashews, and then he said no. There's something called hibiscus, and it looks like there's a lot of demand. So I went on LinkedIn and whatnot, did a lot of research. And then I used to work out with Attah all the time. We've been close friends for a while. And then I was telling him that I'm looking at this hibiscus state. My brother mentioned it. And he's like, oh, I know about it. I'm from a state where they grow huge volumes of hibiscus. So I guess that was like the universe giving us a true pass.
Growing up, I used to always drank it, but I remember it so much, even at the back of the house. You just plant a few, you pluck it, boil it, and then allow it to simmer, and you put it in your containers in the fridge, and then you drink.
Even though we had started AgroEknor, we had put funding together for the first contract, I was still in the UK, waiting to see how it turns out. But I got credit alerts from our Nigerian bank. I counted the zeros to be sure that was it. Then it seemed like a lot of zeros, to be honest, but it was $30,000. I felt like $1 million. We were young. I was 22 going on 23. Attah and my brother were 25.
So to see that kind of money at 25, it's huge.
And then, I think by the next week, I just handed in my resignation and came back to Nigeria.
But I remember my first trip, it was by road. I always used to enjoy the drive. When I was trying to make inquiries about it, people were like, what are you doing? Like, you went to the UK, you have 2 degrees in engineering. Why are you trying to pick up Zobo today? What was the point? Came to a market called Dawano. We were shown some hibiscus. That was when I started to understand the real potential of what we just stumbled on. The hibiscus, once it leaves here, it gets to processing facilities, it's being cleaned and is made to export grade, and then it goes to the fumigation chamber where we get rid of any pests.
So this is our fumigation chamber, and as players in the export market, before you export any commodity, you have to make sure it meets international standards. We're loading out about 5-6 containers. We fumigated over there, and then now we have the truck drivers just taking it to the port in Lagos. In 2017, there was a ban on Nigerian hibiscus. There was an insect that was found in some goods in Mexico. So what that meant was we couldn't access about 6 different export markets. But beyond that, we had maybe 40-something or 50-something containers on the way to Mexico already. So that automatically meant that those containers were banned. We were stuck. We actually had a bank loan as well. I went straight to Mexico, and then we sort of just appealed to the authorities there, and we said, allow the goods get to Mexico instead of sending it back, and then we would pay to fumigate it at the port in Mexico. For us at the time, it was a challenge, but I guess when we looked at it, we were like, this is why we set up AgroEknor, right? To make investments in gaps. Fumigation domestically was a gap. A lot of Nigerian goods had to first go to China, get fumigated, and then they go to the premium export markets. We used to lose $1,000 per ton of hibiscus by just fumigating in China. So when you see a facility like this exporting 4,800 tons, when you do the numbers, you can see how much FX we're saving. So we were one of the first companies to actually build an agro-fumigation chamber here in Kano about 6 years ago. This was all locally built. We've been running it now for 5 years, no downtime, solar powered as well. So, end-to-end value and sustainability. The land we're standing on right now is right next to the fumigation chamber, and the goal here is to build a hibiscus refinery. So when we look at every product that can come out of the hibiscus flower, we want to be able to create it here. So the hibiscus oil, the hibiscus extract, hibiscus powder, we want to do everything here on this site. When we first came out here, it was a bush. We cleared the road so that our trucks could come in here. We put a transformer as well in here, and then we constructed that site, and then we moved on to see how we could acquire more land around the area. The land valuation has done 20x over the last 5 years. And almost everywhere around us, you can see some construction going on. There's jobs for the community. They've been able to sell land here to send their kids to school. And it's just exciting to see a local village essentially become a mini commercial city. I started this journey when I was 23. So we had a lot of people we employed who were 19, 18, 20, younger than us. Now they built their own agro-processing centers. To see them now create so much value for themselves and for their communities, that's what I'm most proud of.
My name is Osas Amedu. I'm an aggregator of hibiscus flower. I started working with AgroEknor 2016 and I left 2023. When I joined AgroEknor, I joined them as a PA, then I left as an head of quality control. The flower that leave my facility end up in China, Mexico, US, depends on where the client is coming from. Right now behind me, we are cleaning siftings to exportable standard. I have 2 locations like this, hoping to have a bigger one and more. In total, during the season, I employ up to 300 women. AgroEknor make me to have interest in agriculture. They taught me a lot, honestly, and I'm so grateful. AgroEknor have been so important to this community because I could remember when I joined, I literally gathered most of those women that are working there now. Those women used to stay at home, wait for their husbands to come back before they do things. AgroEknor helped them to be supportive to their family.
Okay. My name is Maria Ahmed Alama. I'm the head of quality control here in AgroEknor. I first joined this company without any certificate. Because of this work, I have diploma now and I'm doing my degree. So I really love this job. Seriously.
It's all about the people. It's always been about the people. We've grown to a team of full-time staff is 70, 500 plus part-time staff. 80% of our agro-processors are women. In terms of farmers, over the last years, we've worked with 15,000 farmers.
My name is Tosin Olasoji. I work at ARUWA Capital, Nigeria. Coming here and see the whole warehouse full and people, the employment at the back of it was an eye-opener, a very clear example of the numbers do not ever tell the real story. You need to get in the field. It's always exciting and interesting whenever I come here and I see what's going on.
What's the relationship between ARUWA Capital and AgroEknor?
We're married. They're our first wife. That's what comes to my head when I think about how the relationship is a marriage. But beyond just a commercial marriage, it's also a marriage of values, a marriage of intention, and a marriage of impact. Well, I guess if it was a marriage of values and intention, the children of the marriage has been impact, you know, value chain impact.
I want to go one day. Kaya mun kawo musu don a ɗan taɓa a san yadda kamfani ta juye kayan nan daga kauyen nan har ya zo ya zama wannan mutane suna sha, mutane a kasan waje suna sha suna jin daɗi suna so, amma don su ne wannan ya zama success so gashi.
We want Madala to be the biggest beverage brand out of Africa. God gave the UK blackcurrant, they created Ribena for the world to enjoy. God has given Africa Hibiscus, and then we've created Madala for the world to enjoy.
Yayi. Me gida wannan a wata ƙasa ake yin sa ne?
A nan Najeriya ake.
Kai. Yayi.
Almost every success we've been able to build over the last 5 years has been on the foundation of patient capital.
The Mastercard Foundation has been an investor in ARUWA Capital's Fund 1 and Fund 2. Mastercard Foundation has been a very good partner in this. They've helped us in terms of backing companies like AgroEknor.
Before ARUWA Capital came on board, we were essentially a commodity trading business. We didn't have infrastructure, we didn't have Madala, you know? And Madala is a northern word for awesome. So the fact that our cordial is named Madala just shows there's been an awesome transformation for smallholder farmer prosperity.
Tunda muna noma ba yau ba shi mun tarar iyayen kakannin suna yi amma ba mu taba shiga irin wannan lokaci wanda har mai san kayan mu zai zo gurin ya ce na san kayan sai dai mu dauka mu je mu kai kashi kuma yadda Allah ya kawo lafiya Allah mai da ku shiga lafiya wannan zuwa na ubangiji Allah sa ku gani dai shari ne Allah kawo da mana alheri ne Allah tabbata mana da
When you start things, just like driving in the dark with your headlights, you know, you can only see 100 meters. When you get to the next 100 meters, you get to see the next 100 meters, and it's just good to see the growth, and we're grateful and thankful.